The airlock door hissed shut behind me. The stale, recycled oxygen of the human fleet's repair bay replaced by a rush of scents I wasn't prepared for. Metallic sweetness, ozone, and something faintly floral, like the gardens back on Earth, only sharper, edged with a note that made the hairs on the back of my neck rise. It wasn't my bay anymore. It was hers. The AlienQueen. She sat across from me, armored carapace gleaming with cracks that pulsed faintly as though alive. She was alive, of course, but her armor wasn't just protection. It was symbiotic, a living sheath that grew with her. And right now, it was fractured, spiderwebbed with injuries from the battle we barely survived together. I was a mechanic, a patchwork engineer for the fleet. I fixed hulls, rebuilt drones, soldered broken plating. I wasn't supposed to be here with royalty, let alone alien royalty. Yet Admiral Reyes had pulled me aside after the smoke cleared. "Your hands are steady, Corporal Jalen," she had said, her weathered face unreadable. "And you seem to be the only one she'll let near her. Fix the armor, keep her alive. Our alliance depends on it." So here I was, staring at Queen Isra of the Caliph Dominion. Her emerald eyes glowed faintly in the dim chamber, scanning me with equal parts suspicion and something else I couldn't name. "Human," she rasped, her voice low, vibrating through her chest like the growl of some great beast. "Do not mistake my tolerance for weakness. Your tools are crude. Your species is untested. And yet, you touch the lifeblood of my people." I held up my hands, palms open. "I'm not here to disrespect your majesty. I'm just here to help." Her mandible-like cheek plates flexed as though suppressing a hiss. She extended her arm, the armor split and jagged, and the faint glow beneath it dimmed. I saw it then, the truth I hadn't been told. Her armor wasn't just cracked. It was dying. The first repair. The tools clinked softly as I unpacked them. Nanosealers, welding torch, a vial of living resin the Caliph technicians had given me reluctantly. I leaned close, magnifiers over my eyes, and began aligning the fissures. Her body heat was immense, radiating like an engine. Every time my fingers brushed the edge of her armor, the glow beneath flickered, and she made a low sound deep in her chest. "Pain?" "Yes." "No," she said quickly, but her jaw tightened. "It is sensation. My armor has never been touched by another. Not in this way." I hesitated, suddenly aware of how intimate this was. The resin spread under my applicator, seeping into cracks, binding to her living armor. The nanosealer hummed softly, knitting biological fibers with metallic threads. It was like healing flesh, not repairing tech. Hours passed. I lost track of time until the final crack sealed, leaving only a faint scar of iridescence. I leaned back, sweat dripping down my forehead. "It should hold," I said, exhaling. Her eyes flicked to mine, and for the first time I saw something soften there. Not suspicion. Not pride. Something more vulnerable. "You mend more than armor, human," she murmured. When your hands moved, the ache within me eased. "Do you know what you are doing?" I shook my head, confused. "I'm fixing what's broken." She leaned closer, her breath warm and alien, carrying that floralozone scent. "You are healing my heart too." Tides of war. Repairs became routine, though nothing about them felt routine. Each day after skirmishes, Isra would allow me into her chambers. Each time her armor bore new scars. Each time I worked with trembling hands, not from fear but from something else. An awareness of her, of the way her gaze lingered when I leaned close, the way her breath caught when I pressed the resin deeper. She spoke of her people, the Caliph. How they were bred for war but longed for peace. How the Dominion fractured. half of her kin seeking conquest while she fought to build alliances with species like mine. She confessed the weight of leadership, that every scar on her armor was one she bore so her soldiers would not. And I, a simple mechanic, confessed little pieces of myself in return. My childhood on a forgotten Earth colony. The sister I lost in the first wave of Caliph attacks, before Isra took the throne and called for truce. My own doubts, was I aiding the enemy or building something new? War didn't care. Battles came and went. In the void between stars, the enemy pressed harder. One night, alarms blared through the fleet. A traitor faction of Caliph had broken past defenses, boarding the ship itself. I grabbed my sidearm, sprinting through smoke-filled corridors until I saw her. Isra, cornered, armor shredded, blood glistening black. She fought like a storm, her claws tearing through invaders, but even she faltered under sheer numbers. I fired, covering her flank. She turned, surprised to see me there. Human, why? Because I'm not letting you die, I growled, blasting another attacker. We fought side by side, until the deck was littered with bodies and silence fell. She slumped, her legs buckling. I caught her, armor cracking further under my grip. Don't you dare give up now, I whispered, dragging her toward the bay. I can fix this. I can fix you. Her voice was weak but steady. It is not my armor that fails, Jalen. It is my will. And yet, when you are near, I find it again. Between metal and flesh. The days that followed blurred. I spent sleepless nights in her chamber, repairing not just armor but flesh. Her wounds went deeper than I understood, the resin binding only what was surface deep. But something changed. She laughed once, a low, husky sound that surprised even her. She touched my face once, claws careful not to cut. Her words grew softer, and when the armor mended, she still called me back, if only to sit in silence. You are more dangerous than any weapon, she told me one night. Dangerous? Me? I asked with a crooked smile. Yes, for you undo me. You make me think of what I might be without war. You make me hope. I wanted to say the words that pressed at my lips, but war wasn't done with us yet. The final battle. The Dominion traitors massed at the edge of the sector. The fleet braced for annihilation. Isra stood at the forefront, her armor gleaming, every seam I'd repaired glowing like veins of light. She turned to me before boarding her flagship. If I fall, she said, remember me not as a queen, but as a woman who trusted you. I shook my head fiercely. I'm not letting you fall. Not now, not ever. The battle raged for hours, a storm of fire across the void. I worked in the repair bays, patching ships mid-combat, my eyes always drifting to her flagship on the screens. When her armor broke again, when the enemy nearly breached her core, I abandoned my station, boarding her ship in the chaos. Smoke choked the corridors. Her throne room burned, enemies swarming. I fought my way through until I saw her, kneeling, armor shattered, crown fallen. Isra! I screamed, rushing forward. She lifted her head, eyes dim. Jalen, why do you keep coming back? I fell beside her, hands already working, sealing fractures with resin, forcing life into the dying symbiote. Because someone has to remind you, you're not just a queen. You're someone worth saving. Her hand rose, trembling, and pressed against my chest. And you remind me that my heart still beats. The resin flared, brighter than I'd ever seen. Her armor pulsed, fusing stronger than before, glowing as though alive with her spirit. She rose, towering, renewed.